Hello, welcome back to these videos where we learn English every day. Of course, I'm Kent, Teacher Kent, coming at you. Today we're going to learn about October holidays. Yay! So, of course, on our agenda today, we have Japan has a sports day in October. And in America, we have Columbus Day and Halloween. So before I teach you about that, of course, don't forget to like below so we know you're enjoying these videos. And comment, too, on these holiday videos. If you're in a different country than America or Japan, please comment like that. Hey, how about this day in October in my country? So you can we can try to make videos in the future about that. But of course, I grew up in America and I live in Japan more than 20 years now. So that's why I'm focusing on America and Japan in these videos. So of course, Halloween, Columbus Day, and Sports Day, we'll do them in the reverse order, and we'll start as usual with the Japanese version. The Japanese holiday is, of course, Sports Day. So it's a holiday. I should explain the difference between holiday. Well, please watch my British English versus American English show to explain what holiday is. For British people, holiday means something different than for Americans. Okay, so now Japan, Sports Day. Sports Day started in 1964, I guess, October 10th. October 10th is Sports Day. It's a day off in Japan, so most schools are off. But what's interesting about it now, well, it used to be October 10th. It changed now to the second Monday of October. But how it started was, that's why I said 1964. It started in the 1964 Olympics. I think they measured what is the least rainiest day of the year, maybe of the year or of the fall. I think of the year, which day rains the least, and they researched it and they found out it was in October, and it was around October 10th. So they decided to open up the Olympics in 1964 on October the 10th. And to celebrate that day every year, to remember that the Olympics came to Tokyo, and to celebrate maybe the start of a new prosperous season. A lot of people say because 60s, 70s, 80s, when Japan economy grew, that maybe the Olympics started that. So they had the day October 10th. Nowadays, it's used as a day to do sports. So they usually do sports at the school, but and Saturdays, yeah, Saturdays. They usually do sports on Saturday, so they don't always match Sports Day anymore. Sports Day is kind of just an off day. But around Sports Day, so beginning of October, the first, sometimes the end of September, but in my region, the first 10 days of October on a Saturday is usually when they have a sports day where the parents come and watch the kids do mostly track and field events. They run, they jump, they do a pyramid where they get on each other's backs. So they use that around Sports Day to celebrate that every year. Sorry. And then, of course, so that's the end of Sports Day. And in America, we have Columbus Day. Columbus Day, even when I was in school, was not, it's a day off. Usually, it's what we call banking holiday. It's a day that banks and schools and government workers are off, but maybe normal people go to work. But even though we were out of school, we don't celebrate it as much as other days. The teacher mentions it. Okay, happy Columbus Day. It's Columbus Day next October 11th, for example. And but we didn't celebrate as much, I think, because of the controversy. Because nowadays, Columbus Day is slowly changing into Indigenous Peoples Day. So there's a lot of controversy about it. So originally, when I was a kid, Columbus Day meant Christopher Columbus to celebrate the day that Columbus discovered America. So we would have a day off to celebrate that, I guess to encourage kids to be curious about history, which was interesting. But nowadays it's very controversial because of several reasons. One, already Native Americans, indigenous people, lived in America much longer, at least probably 500 years before Columbus came. And then also, he technically didn't even discover America, USA. He arrived in Caribbean. And the third reason, of course, the Vikings discovered North America probably 400 years before he did. They arrived in Canada and went through Nova Scotia. So they actually, there's some documentaries about this where they actually went all the way through the Great Lakes. And there's some burial sites you can research on the internet in Minnesota. So the Vikings came as deep as Minnesota hundreds of years before Columbus came to North America. So that's also an issue. And then also the biggest issue probably is after he came, him and the Spaniards and his countrymen, they did a lot to destroy They brought diseases with them. They brought tobacco. They brought things that destroyed the native culture in America. That little by little they made them slaves and different things that are controversial. So because of that controversy, nowadays they're changing it slowly to Indigenous Peoples Day to celebrate the real native people of America. And in cities, let's see, I have a list here. Seattle. So some cities have changed, especially in the last 5 years. Seattle changed in 2014 to National Indigenous Day. National Indigenous Peoples Day. Also, Los Angeles changed in 2017. Denver changed in 2020, or tried to change. Phoenix was in 2016. Sandusky, Ohio is 2019. Some states that changed is Alaska in 2020, Vermont 2019, Oregon 2021, and Colorado 2020, just to name some of the states and cities that have changed to celebrate the real first people of America. So, and then lastly, Halloween. Yes, Halloween. I talked in my Easter video about how I loved eating chocolate on Easter. On Halloween, you can eat chocolate and candy. I think Halloween is, like I said in that video, is the day that we eat the most chocolate in all of America all year. So, of course, Halloween, we dress up in the costumes. We go house to house. Here's if you watch my reading book videos, here's a video. Sorry, I made a book. I read this in one of my videos, so please watch that Halloween book. But of course, we dress up on the costumes. It's not a day off. So if you watch the British, American English, you'll understand the difference between day off, why it's a holiday in America. So we don't have a day off, but nighttime, kids would go trick-or-treating. They'll knock on the door, trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. And usually the person answering the door will say, if there's a light on, I should say that first. If there's a light on in front of the door, it's okay to knock. If there's no light on so they can turn their light off, then people know not to disturb that house. So if there's a light on, you'll trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat, and then they'll ask you, hey, what are you today? Are you Batman? Are you Superman? Are you Spider-Man? What are you? Oh, no, I'm a doctor. So, oh, a doctor, how interesting. And then they'll give you some candy. And that's how it goes nowadays. And then at the end of the night, you'll count all your candy and with your parents. And your parents will decide how many you can eat. If you can eat 5 a day or 10 a day or 20 a day, you'll eat all of them with your family. But so of course, mom and dad will always want to inspect what came with it. Some of the strangest things I got for Halloween was like apple. Somebody gave me an apple one time. Somebody didn't have any food. They gave me cereal, like small sample cereal boxes. And let's see, I've had some interesting stuff. One of my most interesting experiences, one time I went trick-or-treating with my friend's son, and we didn't have any costumes. So the father of that person and me, as the father's friend, we dressed up in women's dresses. So my students, my English students see that picture sometimes during Halloween. They like it, but I dressed up in the costume because the boy said, no, you have to wear a costume. So we dressed up. We walked around with him to trick-or-treat. But it's a great day. So the original meaning of that came from England, Ireland, Scotland, in that region. I think Ireland originally, is that the homeless people or the people without a house would go around and knock on doors, and they would ask for money, and they say, we will pray for your luck and happiness. So that's why trick or treat. So if they would pray for your bad luck if you didn't give them anything, and they'd pray for your good luck if you gave them something. And the reason we wear costumes also comes from that region, is that they believe, so it connects to All Saints Day, November 1st. All Saints Day for Catholics, they believe it's the day to celebrate the passed away, the ancestor people. So, but because that's on November 1st, October 31st, the gate is open, where the gate from heaven to hell and earth, it's all mixed, and the ghosts can roam the earth on that day. So the reason we wear costumes is to trick the ghosts that are roaming the earth, like, hey, no, I'm same as you. Look, I'm a skeleton, or I'm a witch, or we're same, so don't bother me. So, okay. So they won't bother the people wearing the costume. In that way, it's similar to Obon in Japan, that they believe also the ghosts will visit your house in August. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Again, don't forget to go trick-or-treating And in knock, 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 trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. So happy Halloween. And before I leave, so don't forget to subscribe. And over here, some other videos, some holiday videos or other videos I teach at. Here's some popular videos on our channel. Until next time, sorry, over here maybe. Until next time, have a good day and see you in tomorrow's lesson.